Have you ever imported a library and asked yourself, now what? Now, let's say you're a scientist in a lab. Have you ever purchased lab equipment and not read the instructions? Never mind the answer to that question. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate 4 different methods you can use to better understand, or at least more quickly understand, different libraries. Let's get started. So let's say you've imported a new library like pandas, and you want to understand what types of functions exist inside that library. This is where the dir method comes in. Let me show you. The dir method, with all the other techniques in this, come with base Python. And so this is what we're going to use to help us understand what's possible. So we have a data frame we're creating using the pd.dataframe method. And I want to use the dir method to understand what's inside that data frame, or what's possible with this data frame. By running dir, we get this list object of all the different methods we have access to. We have Boolean, we have contains, we have copy. If we want to reverse this list, we can see the bottom. We have other techniques like the .where method, the unstack, and a bunch of other methods you probably already recognize. But this is great because if you get to a library you're less familiar with, we can use this same technique. So inside of df, let's look at the OS library. Because I already have OS imported, we can just say dir OS, and we see we have a bunch of different techniques. However, I want to look at a particular method. Let's do the os.list dir, and now we can see how this directory is updated. So this is quite helpful. Now, let's say you found a function based on your directory lookup, and you want to understand more of what that function can do. This is where the help method comes in. So let's switch to that. With help, we're more interested in understanding what a particular method or function does. So let's look at the help option for the list directory. When we run this, you see we have some text on the screen that says help on built-in function, list directory, and module POSIX. List directory path equals none, returns a list containing the names of the files in the directory. And this is nice because it helps us understand what data types we have coming in and possibly coming out. If we switch this to the data frame option we had here, you see we have help on data frame and module, and we have our data frame class. It is a 2-dimensional size mutable, potentially heterogeneous tabular data. You can see the different parameters that we have. We have an index, we have data, we would obviously have columns, but we can even use this on our own modules that we might have in a local directory. So I have my signal processing file that I often use. And so let me import that here. So I'm going to say import modules.signal processing. If I run help sp, you can see we have help on modules, modules.signal processing, and it has our functions, the apply savgal, and our apply snv. So even if you're building your own modules internally, you can use the help function to help you recall what those methods are and what the anticipated inputs and outputs are, because we have our doc string. And this might also help encourage you to properly document the modules and functions that you're building. So now you've used directory, you've used help, and now you have a function that you've just operated on. And you want to understand more about the output of that function. What type of data did you get? And this is where the type method comes in. So I'm going to show 3 instances where this is quite helpful. So let's use the type for our dataframe.head method. And we see that the type of this is a data frame. We can tell because it says pandas.core.frame.dataframe. And so this might be pretty obvious, but let me show you a case where it might be less obvious. Let's use the type for the os.list directory. And based on what we know from the help, this will give us a list of files in a particular path. And we see that the output of this type is list. However, let's look at the output of our os.scan directory. And we run type for the os.scan directory. We get this generator object here. And so because of this, we have a very different way we want to process this data or use this information in our data workflows. And so this is just a very critical step in understanding what the output of these various functions and methods are. Lastly, we're going to look at the hasattr and getattr methods. Now, admittedly, I don't use these very often, but as I build apps, these techniques help me to build in a more clever way of building flexibility into my solutions. So let me demonstrate. The hasattr and getattr are great for building more dynamic code. So in this code snippet, we're going to look for the columns attribute in our data frame. And if it has this attribute, we're going to get the attribute. We're going to get the columns back. So if I run this, we know that the data frame object has columns. And so we're going to return our columns there. Now, let's say I typed this wrong, and we're going to look for column. and in this case, we get nothing back. Or let's say we unexpectedly return a series instead of a data frame, or a list instead of a series. We can use this hasattr getattr combination for building more robust, more flexible code. So whether you're looking at near IR data or building your own solutions that are very different from what I typically look at, these 4 techniques are great for helping you to learn new libraries and modules or build more flexibility as you automate data solutions. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, subscribe. What other methods do you use to help you understand these libraries better? In any case, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.